I read 36 books in 2025, and honestly, 31 of them were a complete waste of time. I spent hundreds of hours reading the same recycled garbage that didn't change my bank account or didn't improve my life at all. Because it was just another self-help that made me feel productive in a moment when I was actually standing still. But these 5, on the other hand, these 5 were a complete game changers for me. Because one fixed my head, one fixed my business, and one literally changed the way how I look at relationships. If you want to win in 2026 without wasting a year reading average books, this is the only list you need. So let's get straight into the first one. The first book that I have on my list, which helped me probably the most, is called Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. The core premise of this book is to basically understand that you have something called the inner voice, the annoying roommate in your head that essentially wakes up with you every single day and goes to sleep with you every single day. And I had this problem like on another scale. Basically, when I woke up, I started having these bad conversations with myself and how the morning sucks because I'm waking up at 4 a.m. So it was like the inner dialogue looked horrible, and that's why my life basically went the same way. So this book, what it teaches you beautifully, I don't want to spoil too much for you if you want to read it, but this book beautifully, and I mean beautifully, teaches you how to silence this voice, not by basically not focusing on it, but by focusing on it and observing it, right? And it teaches you how to become observer of your thoughts, your emotions, and why they don't define you at all. When you now listen to your brain, it can, for example, tell you to click off this video and go and watch some more stimulating video or something like that. That's your inner voice, right? This is the book if you have problem like I do, and if you overthink, if you basically have a lot of like problems with your head when it comes to conversations that you have with yourself and stuff like that. You literally choose to be depressed, right? You literally choose to engage with this emotion. If you just observe it, it usually goes away, right? So read this book if you have problem with overthinking, if you have problem with depression, if you have problem with anything inner, right? So inner dialogue, if you have inner resistance and stuff like that, and you don't know how to basically make a relationship with this resistance, read this book. It's short. It's like 180 pages. So it's very short. You can read it in 2 days, literally. And yeah, I think it was worth every single moment that I read it. So second book that we have here is Essentialism, right? And you might have heard about this book because it's pretty famous. So what is essentialism? Essentialism is the disciplined pursuit of less, right? And what does it mean? Well, it means that we have energy in our life and we can decide to allocate this energy into different things. Most people, what they do is that they spread their energy everywhere, right? Their focus. You can think about energy as focus, right? They spread their energy in every single direction. So gym, business, school, relationships, family, I don't know, like this new video game and this new series and stuff like that. And then they wonder why they make such a small progress in one direction. Well, it's because they spread attention too much. But essentialists, on the other hand, they allocate energy into one thing only, okay? Look at Hormozy, for example, right? His job is not like fun or anything like that, but he's making like $100 million per month. If you just focus on one thing for like 3 years, there is no way you cannot be successful in it, okay? Good book. Would basically recommend this to anybody that struggles with productivity, focus, or feels overwhelmed very often. This book is the book for you. So the third book that we have here, when talking about money, 100 Million Money Models and 100 Million Trilogy from Alex Hormozy is probably the best book you can pick up. And Money Models teaches you how to basically keep clients for longer, upsell them for more money, and have always something that you can either downsell or upsell to them, which is super crucial. So this is a good book. I cannot really tell you too much about it because these books are short. Put your trust in me in this and just read it, okay? It's a good investment and you're gonna thank me later because these books, they are the pinnacle of my knowledge when it comes to like business. Before we move to the last book, I actually want to show you a book, or the fourth book, that actually helped me a lot. And that's Models by Mark Manson. I had some meaningful relationships, but this book really put me in a game of dating, not in a game like the game like Pickup or something like that. This book actually teaches you how to be vulnerable And I know it sounds crazy, but vulnerability is probably the biggest mover needle when it comes to actually having relationships that you enjoy being in. Okay, what does vulnerability mean in these terms? It's not like opening up about your traumas or anything like that. It's simply just about doing the things that you feel are super uncomfortable for you, but you actually want to do. What do I mean by this? If you want to look at her eyes, just look into her eyes and don't stop, right? If you obviously don't be a creep, like if you don't know the girl, it's probably weird. If you want to get physical in a certain way, get physical in that way, right? That's called vulnerability, putting yourself into this essentially danger of being too much opened and seen of what you actually want to do yourself. I don't know if it makes sense, but I think it does. Ultimately, what is the biggest thing that you want to achieve with your girl is to actually enjoy spending time with her and be vulnerable with her. So doing the stuff that you actually want to do, right? So this really helped me about women and about relationships. Because of this book, I literally, when I read it, this is a big like shout out to Mark Manson. When I read it, I went on a date 2 weeks afterwards, or like 1 week afterwards, and I've been dating that girl for 3 months basically. So it shows you that this book probably is pretty good, right? And since then I've been on a lot of dates, and I would say that it helped me see dating life in a way easier sense. If you have, for example, problem with escalation, if you have problem with talking with a girl about what you actually want to talk about, because what it ultimately, as I said, comes down to is not like having some certain words that you say, but actually saying what you're interested in and seeing if she vibes with it, because that's how you find somebody that you actually like spending time with, right? So this is very important. Great book. I would say the best book on relationships that I ever read. So that was Models by Mark Manson. And lastly, we have Influence. This book should be probably number one because it's about persuasion. I love persuasion like crazy, but I didn't put it as number one because it's a bit more advanced for people that, for example, have problem with their mind, etc. So that's why I put The Untethered Soul as the first book. So Influence, what is it about? Well, it's about persuasion, right? And about unconscious biases that we can leverage to basically manipulate people better. That's how I would like summarize this book. It's not about like unethical manipulation. It's about manipulation that actually is ethical and that when used correctly can literally change somebody's life. Okay, so you have like 7 laws here. First of all, we have reciprocity, right? When you give somebody something for free, that's personalized, they will feel the burning need to give you back, and much more rules like these. And you can use these in marketing, right? For example, this is why Alex Hormozy does content, right? And free courses, because he's trying to reciprocate you, I guess, I don't know, to basically then become his like incubator company, right? And stuff like that. So this book is probably the best starting point into psychology and persuasion, I would say, because it's in easy words, it's basically with great examples, and like there are very good things in this book. Again, I don't want to spoil too much for you, but if a book has like a recommendation from Charlie Munger, it has to be freaking great. If you don't know who Charlie Munger is, he recently passed away, unfortunately, but he was the right hand of Warren Buffett, and he was probably the smartest guy I ever knew. So yeah, Influence, if you want to pick it up, pick it up. It's a no-brainer. All of these 5 books, you should just blindly buy. I'm being serious. Like, these books are going to change your life either way. Even if you're making $100 million per year, or even if you're making like $10 per month, whatever it is, these 5 books will help you. And I specifically picked these up because I wanted to basically cover every single area of life. So relationships, wealth, and health. And as a bonus, I forgot health and discipline. So 2 books that I read on discipline this year that changed my mindset again and really made me way more disciplined are Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins and Relentless by Tim Groover, I think. Yeah, that's the author. These 2 were freaking dope. And if you're searching for something about, for example, testosterone and stuff like that, pick up Estrogeneration. It's the best book on testosterone, in my opinion, and for overall health, like, because there are so many endocrine disruptors around us. It's crazy. So yeah, Estrogeneration is a good book if you want to get into health. So yeah, we essentially covered health, wealth, relationships. Perfect, right? So if you want to make more money, pick up the 100 Million Trilogy. If you want to have clearer head, pick up the Untethered Soul. If you want to be more productive, pick up Essentialism. If you want to know more about psychology and how people's mind actually work, pick up Influence. And if you want a better dating life and better relationships overall, pick up Money Models. Not Money Models, Models by Mark Manson. So yeah, that's that. And I'm going to be opening up something huge. If you want to be part of it, it's going to be called Funnel Hub. It's going to be a free community where I will literally share free resources, free templates, free funnels that I used for my clients that generated $30K for one swimming instructor in 24 hours. So if you want these materials, there is going to be a Google form down below. Click it, join the waiting list, and I'm going to be picking up just people that actually care about results. That's why we make a waiting list. So yeah, once it's out, I'm going to let you know, and people that actually sign up for the waiting list will know prior and get great bonuses. So yeah, that's that. Anyways, take care. I'm going to see you on the next one, and thank you for clicking on this video. Take care. Bye-bye.